And it is my privilege, ladies and gentlemen, to be able to introduce to you somebody who's a writer, an actor, a producer. This young lady is the quintessential person to talk to you about creating compelling narratives that will include your audience within the mix, that will include your young audience, enable them to reach out to them. To your love, appreciation, and applause, can I please invite up on stage Akarsh Khurana, please. Coming up.
So, I'm the last speaker, so you all can celebrate. There are no more after this. You'll get your awards and... yeah, finally, correct. So I'll keep it short. I don't have too much to say. I'm not very qualified for this. I actually run a theatre company, and I've had the good fortune of having Lohit and some others come and see my plays. And I think they thought that our plays tend to communicate well with the youngsters, and I'm glad that they do. My only qualification to be able to discuss how to engage with millennials at all is that I have a brother who's 8 years younger than me. So, so he's a millennial, and it's a massive generation gap. I was born in 1979. The biggest Hindi film that year was an Amitabh Bachchan film called Suhag, in which a petty criminal becomes a good guy and saves the day. My brother, 8 years later, was born in 88, and the biggest film that year was a film called Tezab, in which a really nice guy who wants to join, his country and serve it becomes a criminal. That's a generation gap for you. Yeah, in 8 years, everything had gone to shit. So, so that's really where I've learned everything from. Sorry? Oh, thank you. Okay, lovely. I'm not done yet. I have about 2-3 minutes. Thank you. So, okay. So what happened is generation gaps. Actually, I think some of the best thing, and I'm not taking away from any of the other speakers. I love all the speakers. They've been fantastic. But I think some of the best things about engaging with millennials have actually been said by Hisham. Okay. So I think that that little game he played in the beginning, which was about, dabbing and recording voices versus doing things like that. I think that was the most essential, because I really think that, like they've said so many times, that, every generation comes with their batch of problems. And I think it's really up to y'all as educators and us as entertainers to be able to talk to them in their language, right? It is important for us, however useless a term like dabbing is, or even the gesture. I don't think it actually means anything, and it doesn't even look particularly graceful. But they do it, so we've got to know it. I think that's important, and I think it's just important to kind of keep up with them. हम try करने जाएंगे तो हम बेवकूफ लगेंगे. तो but जानना ज़रूरी है. I was in Delhi recently, and I was driving, and I had my 14-year-old niece was sitting in the car next to me, and somebody kind of came in front of the car at one point of time, and I braked and I said, "Kya kar raha hai be?" Okay. And my niece said that, "Mamu, do you know what be means?" So I was like, "Yeah, it's a short form of abe." It's just like, So it's like, "No, be is B-A-E. It means before anyone else. It's like your best friend." I was like, wow. I've stopped saying be in Delhi. Nahi hota ab mere se. So I think it's just important to be able to speak to them in a particular in the way, and I think that it really helped, because I had this little guy at home. I suppose, like they said, all generations give problems. So when I was in school, and I was a serious kind of student, and my father said, his father had told him that a son's responsibility should be to study more than his own father. So I was like, okay. So he said, my granddad was a civil engineer. He said, so he was an engineer. So I'm doing my engineering and I'm doing my MBA. So you have to study more than me. So I was like, ये तो थोड़ा मुश्किल है ना पापा, मतलब अभी क्या है कि अभी तो 10th के एग्जाम देने हैं. So 10th के एग्जाम खत्म हुए, and I went into college, and then my dad, who had a really comfortable job and he was doing well for himself, decided to do his PhD. So he goes to engineering college in Rourkela, and then he does his management from XLRI, and then he does a job for a really long time, also as an actor, and does all of those things, an actor, writer, all of those things, and then decides that he's going to go to TISS in Chembur and do his PhD. So I said, मैं कर रहा हूँ theatre, मैं छोड़ रहा हूँ, मेरे से नहीं होने वाला, PhD से आगे तो जाने नहीं वाला मामला. Still, because of that instilled, I did 2 post-graduations, which was the most I could manage, and I decided to kind of get into theatre. My brother, who was their favorite child, he was sent off for his undergraduation to Glasgow. Undergraduation, he did nothing, he got drunk a lot, studied for 4 years doing forensic biology, came back to India and became an actor and a writer. Now he does what we do, he does theatre. So that forensic biology was all a waste. My brother and I are from the same school as Shivam. All 3 of us had good jobs and then we left them to follow our dreams. So maybe our school needs to do some self-assessment. So, आर्य विद्या मंदिर से कोई नहीं है ना यहाँ? कोई जानता तो नहीं है ना उनको? तो जानते हैं आप? बताना नहीं. नाम भूल जाना हमारे. तो so Arya Vidya Mandir, Bandra, Bombay. That's me, yeah, him too. We were, back when it was a boys' school, now they made it fun, it's co-ed. But we had to wait till college. Maybe that's why we were so discontent. So, theatre wala hun light nahi le raha hun, socho. So, ma'am, I think you should come up. I think we'll chat. So, thank you so much. I wish I was. It's just really. It's just I'm having to really revisit my dark past. So and how my brother did better than me. So yeah. So actually, there's another millennial in the family. Really, I mean, there's my brother and there is my theatre company actually. So my theatre company was formed in the year 2000. So it kind of just about qualifies. And when we started doing that, we didn't really know कि मतलब करना क्या है, किस type का content करना है. When we were doing theatre, there was 2 types of theatre that was going on. English theatre was doing all the classics. It was doing Shakespeare and Bernard Shaw. And Hindi theatre was doing some really fundamentalist, social message, hard stuff, I mean, everything had a message. The first play we did was a comedy, and it didn't have a message. And the world said कि ये क्या है? ये तुम क्या कर रहे हो? मैं बोला ठीक है यार, कोशिश कर लेते हैं. It did well. We got encouraged. We thought कि मतलब आगे बढ़ के कर लेते हैं थोड़ा और काम. But it was still a hobby. At that point of time, theatre could not be a profession. Also, I had to study more than my father. So that was going on. So I actually landed up joining a corporate job, and I started working for a company called Columbia TriStar, which is a film distribution company. I joined the company because it gave me free movie posters, and because I could get to see films like Men in Black before the rest of the world. तो मेरे लिए बहुत बड़ी बात थी. और उन्होंने बोला कि अभी तुम ज्वाइन करोगे, तुमको गो डाउन जाकर तुमको जो पोस्टर चाहिए ले लो. तो आई वाज लाइक ये तो सेट है लाइफ. यहाँ मतलब फिल्में देखने को मिलती हैं, घर के लिए पोस्टर भी मिल जाते हैं, और थोड़ी बहुत मतलब ऐसा स्टाइपेंड टाइप का काम मिल जाता है. सो आई जॉइंड Columbia TriStar and now trying to find some correlation between what the conference is about also. The first film that I actually worked on over there was a film called Bend It Like Beckham. I think some of you have seen Bend It Like Beckham. And around the same time, I was doing a play called Pigs on the Wing. And very interestingly, Bend It Like Beckham is about this girl who wants to break the rules and become a footballer. And the play that I was doing was about this guy who wanted to leave a corporate job and follow his dreams. So, I mean, there was some sort of a correlation going on over there, and it was that this generation, and both these plays, the play and the film worked really well, and it was really interesting to see that there is some sort of a, I won't say angst, it's a very strong word, I'd say unrest. There was some sort of unrest, and perhaps I was going through the same thing because I had joined for posters, and then I suddenly realized that, and I was just telling the young girl I was trying to send up over here, I was just telling her that there was a point when I was doing my job where when I joined, I used to be really passionate about all the films, and then one day I was sitting over there, and if anyone has heard these terms before, but I was sitting on the phone shouting at a vendor saying, my digibeta hasn't reached. And then suddenly I kind of took stock and I said, the films have stopped being films. I mean, they've become digibetas, they've become commodities, the passion's gone. And I went and told my boss, she was an ex-advertising person, and I went to her and I said, that I want to quit my job. And she said, why? So I said, because I don't feel like I'm emotionally invested in it anymore. And she laughed because, she said, you're not supposed to be, it's a job. And I was like, okay, that makes no sense. And I said, no, I made my decision. And the next day they offered me a lot of money. And they said, is that the problem? And I was like, no. And I felt really bad क्योंकि पैसे थे उनके पास, दे नहीं रहे थे. अब मैंने जाने की धमकी दी तो पैसे दे रहे थे. And I said no. And then they kept increasing the figure till they reached a figure where even I got tempted. I said, यार इतने पैसे थे, but तब तक ethics आ गए थे. तो बोला अब वापस जाऊंगा तो कमजोर लगूंगा. तो then I left and I said कि theater करते हैं. 1.5 साल theater करने के बाद realize हुआ कि यहाँ पैसे नहीं मिलते, तो और कुछ काम करना पड़ेगा. And which is when I decided to become a writer. And I tried for about a year to write television, write films, worked on a lot of interesting projects with a lot of people, and none of them ever got made. And I had all but given up. Theatre was losing me money, and I didn't have a job. And I called back this lady boss saying that, you were right. I think I should not be emotionally invested. It's time to come back to your job if it's still open. And she said, yes, it's open. It's always open for you. Fortunately, 3 days before I went back to the job, I got falciparum malaria and got hospitalized. When I was in hospital, then the doctor said, for 3 months you can't do anything. You can't take trains, you can't go to work, you have to be at home. So I couldn't take the job, which was great because the moment I got okay, I got an opportunity to write my first feature film, which was this small little film called Krish. So I got really fortunate, and so I can't take all the credit for it. It was Rakesh Roshan's brainchild, but he decided to take a chance on a really young writer at that point of time, and and I wrote Krish at that point. This is 2006, and the good thing that happened at that point was that I wrote Krish in 2004, and as soon as I finished writing Krish, he told me, why don't you be my assistant director on the film as well? And that was great because those 3 years that I spent with Rakesh Roshan were my film school. I was there from the time that the first word was written on the paper, and then I went and I did visual effects for the film, so I was there till the last shot was delivered. So for me, that was film school. And that was something that was better than any education that I could have perhaps got in a formal manner. And so that's how that began. And it was very interesting to very interesting to see a man of Rakesh Roshan's age at that point of time. What he wanted to do was communicate with the young generation. He was like, I understand that even my favorite film is Karan Arjun, still, of the lot that he's made. And he said, I know I made a very good film, but it's about reincarnation. It's an old thought. And he was like, we need to talk to the youngsters. And it was great because there was a 60-year-old man telling me that right now success lies in the fact of being able to communicate with youngsters. So he said, I don't care how much it costs, but Hollywood will not be the only one giving them superheroes. We are going to give them something too. And that happened. And for me, it was great because he was a really old school man. And he was talking a lot of sense. He was like, we need to do this. And I was like, yeah, this is fantastic. It makes complete sense. And it was great coming from someone like him. And I worked with him for 7 years, and that was great. And theatre continued after that. And then there was this little bit of a turning point in our theatre career as well. And we were, I think, trying our hands at all kinds of plays. We were trying to do whatever we could, and they were like, middling success, and we were taking all these old classics and trying to do them, or, some Hindi plays that were very good plays, but, they were like based in folk culture and stuff like that, and steeped in tradition, so we were going back to the old stories, which is what actually Mr. Rajab Ali was saying you should do, and and I know there's a lot of merit in that, but actually exactly the opposite worked for me. Because there was this one really interesting point that came, which was I think in the year 2010. Yeah, my brother came back from Glasgow, which was important, and at that point of time, he came to me with all the information of all the stuff that he had watched over there. And when I visited him over there, even I was aware. Should I keep out shouting or should I wait? Okay, last speaker, guys. Last speaker. halfway through my page. Almost done. I won't even play the videos. Don't worry. I'll leave. So, okay. So he came back and he told me about all the stuff he had seen, and I had gone to Glasgow to visit him, and I saw some fantastic stuff. I saw young kids doing plays about, really fun plays about, knife crimes, about things that really mattered to them, but they were doing it in a fun, colloquial kind of way, and they were performing it anywhere. They were performing the play I saw. The show I saw was inside a church. They had taken a church in the evening and they were performing over there. And then I went and there was a show going on in someone's warehouse. And suddenly it kind of opened my mind, saying that why are we limiting ourselves to these 2 or 3 theaters that, give us the lights and sound that we need? Why are we not expanding? Why are we not taking, because it was very hard for people to come to people were not coming to the theater. Theater, unfortunately, till about 10 years ago, was looked upon as this highbrow intellectual thing. That, it's going to be something serious, it's going to tell us something, it's going to teach us something, it's going to be... And that's changed. In the last 10 years, a lot of young people have started coming to the theater. I mean, any of you who's in Bombay, if you ever swing by this famous Prithvi Theatre, it's full of youngsters. They're always sitting over there, they're in the cafe, they come and they watch your shows. And I think that it's really our privilege that we've been part of that movement. Because, and quite honestly, it happened because my brother came home. Because when he did, I realized that this is the generation I need to cater to. And if I do Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, which is a great novel, he doesn't want to watch it. If I do the biopic of Gulab Bai, who was a Nautanki dancer, which is fantastic, and that play of mine won 4 awards, I said he doesn't want to watch it. So I've got to find a balance. I've got to continue doing that for the people who want to watch it, and I've got to do something, because if his generation doesn't come in, what do I do? And so I chanced upon a play written by a 23-year-old. There was a 23-year-old boy who wrote a play called The Interview, which was a really short 70-minute play about a young man who lands up at somebody's office asking for a job. That was it. And he goes for a job, and his job interview starts getting more and more bizarre. Like, it starts off very normal, and then it starts getting more and more bizarre, till the boss is actually telling him that I'll give you the job if you manage to do this for me. And he's getting this new employee caught in office politics and saying, if you pull this off for me, I'll give you the job. And it just was this wonderful thriller, funny thriller, written in the language that you and I talk in. And I was like, this is the play I want to do. And we had no budget. That was the cheapest play we ever did. It had only 4 actors. That play went on to do 112 shows. That went on to do 112 shows, and it's been running since 2010. And it went on to win all possible awards in the country. And I think everyone was just really shocked that there was a contemporary play that made sense. And suddenly, in that moment, when my brother came back, we found our voice as a theatre group. And from that day onwards, from 2010 onwards, we have aimed that however many classics we might do, there's always something that we are running that talks to people in their language. There are plays that we do which understand dabbing and bay and all those things, and we are also doing plays that, are Shakespeare, and we're doing that. But that balance is absolutely necessary. And we had one great moment because at one point of time, so The Interview was an English play, and English plays used to kind of perform only in Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore, perhaps Chennai, perhaps Calcutta, if you were lucky. The Interview traveled to 26 cities in India alone. We went and performed in a place called Hisar, which is in Haryana, and we were performing there, and we were on the front page of the newspaper because we were apparently the first ever English play that had performed in Haryana. And I was like, how the hell is a play like Interview, which is an adult play, which talks like youngsters do, has a lot of bad language, because things go out of control. So there's a lot of the 4-letter word, and there's a lot of sexual references. And we were like, what is going on? Like, why is this play actually doing so well in Hisar? And we realized that it was just because the situation was relatable to everybody. Everybody who's been in a city has gone for an interview of some sort. Everyone who hasn't been in the city aspires to go for an interview. And suddenly it was just the most relatable situation in the world. And we said, okay, wow, this is something that's managed to be like our crossover play. There was an English play happening in Bareilly, and it was happening in Hisar. And it was just bizarre that this was something that we pulled off. And that's the key. We thought relatability. The moment you can kind of talk to them about, a situation that they may be faced with, because क्या है कि एक problem ये होता है ना कि आजकल बहुत सारे कंटेंट क्रिएटर्स जब यूथ के बारे में सोचते हैं, दे स्टार्ट थिंकिंग अबाउट कि मतलब एजी होना चाहिए, थोड़ा सा मतलब टेक्नोलॉजी इतना यूज करते तो ये होना चाहिए. यू नो, लाइक आई हैव सीन ओल्ड राइटर्स टॉक टू मी अबाउट कि इतनी क्या तकलीफ है यंगस्टर्स को, इतना नशा करते हैं. You know, and it should be about that. And it's and around 2012 actually, I was involved in writing a television show for MTV called MTV Rush, which was this show about how, you know, at a college festival, all the things that are bad that are happening, right? That show was a complete flop. Nobody watched it. The youngsters hated it because they don't need to see that. Life is edgy enough. They've got enough of their problems. They don't need to be reminded of the dark side of it. They're actually looking for the bright side. They're actually looking to be able to relate to something. I mean, we kind of tend to, you know, make them the villain. And I've said this earlier, and somebody turns around and says, "Ke kya baat kar rahe ho yaar? Sabse successful show hamara Roadies hai. Roadies dekho." And I agree. I don't like Roadies at all. And I watch Roadies, and very interestingly, I was actually reading an article which is about some psychologist who actually wrote about Roadies, and they said that however aggressive Roadies is, and however competitive Roadies is, the sense of ethics in Roadies is huge. They don't tolerate sexist behavior. They don't tolerate if you make fun of homosexuals. They don't tolerate any kind of eve teasing. They treat it with maximum disrespect. And suddenly you're like, okay, they're loud talking, rude people over here, but they have a strong sense of ethics. And I mean, I happened to meet those two brothers who hosted Roadies, and उनको इतनी आदत हो गई कि फोन पे भी डांटते हैं कि मतलब उसका कॉल आया और बोला तुम कल मीटिंग पे आ सकते हो. मैं बोला आप डांट क्यों रहे हैं मेरे को, मतलब मैं आपको मीटिंग करनी है मेरे साथ. बट वो उनका टोन ये हो गया है कि मतलब वो रोडीज की तरह ही बात करते हैं. And I spoke to them and they said that we had always started it off not as some sort of a sensationalizing show. It was never meant to be like a Big Boss or a Splits Villa, and I don't know why those work. But the point is that they had a very strong sense of ethics, and that's why when I look at it and I do the study and I say, oh wow, it's the most watched show, I see a reason for it. I see that maybe there's something in there that, you know, that things matter to them. My brother's friends all went off to study abroad. All of them called up their parents when they saw Rang De Basanti saying, we want to come back home. And why do you want to come back home? We want to come back and kill some politicians. We were like, अच्छा, तुमको बोलना नहीं आया, but तुमको कुछ तो महसूस हुआ. तुम गलत बोल रहे हो. तुम अभी बोल रहे हो कि डिफेंस मिनिस्टर को मारेंगे, वो बेवकूफी है, बट कुछ तो फील हुआ तुम्हें. पेट्रियोटिज्म तो है अभी भी. तो वो क्या है that I think the biggest problem with this generation that we are finding so hard to communicate with is they have problems communicating too. They're not the most expressive. They don't know how to say things. They comes back in a slightly negative format because that's what they're exposed to. And I think that patience is critical. I think that being able to filter for us, because we are more educated, we are older, we've seen more of the world, I think that filtration process has to be ours. Because उनको तो आता ही नहीं है. उनके मन में जो आता है बोल देते हैं. बट वो हम तक जहां पहुंचे तब तक हम फिल्टर कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि आई फील वेरी स्ट्रांगली, बिकॉज आई इंटरेक्ट विद सो मेनी यंगस्टर्स, इज दैट देयर इंटेंशंस आर नॉट बैड. They're coming from a good place. They're trying to, you know, the right kind of things matter to them. You know, they might be obsessed with with technology, but the point is, I find somewhere that the need of putting everything up on Facebook and putting everything up on Instagram and being on WhatsApp all the time is because somewhere they want to connect. Somewhere they're trying to reach out. Somewhere they're trying to show that this is our life, and you know, we want you to be a part of our lives, because somewhere technology is making them lonely. So I think that somewhere we've got to kind of wade through all of that obvious nonsense and come to the point that, you know, what Shivam said something very good. Everyone's Facebook pages look great, but there's depression inside. I know a lot of people who started writing about their depressions on Facebook. They've started writing about it, that, you know, oh, this is how you deal with somebody who's got an anxiety disorder. And the thing is, this is the times are changing. When I was in school, we didn't have a child psychologist in school. हमको प्रॉब्लम होती थी तो कर लेते, रोके निकल जाते थे, ठीक है, अगले दिन काम पे जाना था. अब आप चाइल्ड साइकोलॉजिस्ट जाओगे तो लाएंगे प्रॉब्लम्स लोग. हम भी माहौल बना रहे हैं कि मतलब नहीं तो किसी को समझ कहाँ आता था. माय वाइफ इज अ चाइल्ड साइकोलॉजिस्ट. 20 years ago she wouldn't have had a job because we were fine. We'd get slapped and, you know, we'd deal with your problems. Now it's like, oh, you know, actually I saw that guy, actually, you know, he stole something and it's affected me really badly. So, like, what the hell, guys? So, you know, so matlab, somewhere we are at fault too. No, we've created this environment where they don't know what to do. They can't come and talk to their parents. They have to go and talk to a counselor. Why? You know. So the thing is, I think that it's a much larger problem. And I think that actually, I should end, right? Yeah. I think that the good thing is that however bleak it looks with this generation, I think that underneath somewhere they have a pretty deep sense of right and wrong, and they have a pretty deep sense of wanting to connect, and they have a pretty deep sense of family, which is something that they aspire for, and I don't know if they get it. And I mean, that brings me to something that so I have written a lot of other points, and I'm going to skip over them. I'm just going to talk about something that we came to. So basically from 2014 onwards, all the internet content has really increased. And there's so much stuff available on the internet. And I'm not talking about Netflix and all. I'm talking about, if you look at, AIB, All India Bakchod, they were talking about Tanmay Bhatia, and TVF, the Viral Fever. Both of these started off as spoofs, right? All they did was spoof. One of them has the word Bakchod in their name, right? Which is a bad word. And the other was TVF Cutiapa, which is a takeoff on Chutiapa, which is also a bad word. So they started off as these little sensationalist things that, we're going to connect to the youth because we're going to talk dirty and we're going to do spoofs. Now, I've worked with both AIB and TVF. And what happened is they grew up. They realized that spoofs will only get us this far. The youth will laugh at that, but is the youth really connecting? Are they coming back? Are they actually subscribing, or are they just actually seeing something, showing it to their friend and moving on? They realized they've got to start making content that matters. They started making, so in about 2015, AIB did a video called Honest Diwali, which was this fantastic video about how people actually feel during Diwali, when people come and give them hand-me-down mithais, and there was this thing, everyone connected, because suddenly it was about family. In 2015, TVF made pictures and Permanent Roommates. Permanent Roommates was about being able to find a companion in today's day and age, and people connected. It was about a goofy guy who wanted to find love, and his only ambition was to settle down with the girl that he wanted to be with. And the girl was like, no, I'm not sure we're ready. But that was a great conflict of our generation, that generation, not my generation, I'm too old, but their generation. And Pictures was about 4 guys leaving their jobs. It's like Shivam, me and my brother decided to do a startup. That's what Pictures was about, so we'd watch it. Because it was about these aspirational boys who wanted to go out there and kind of start something of their own. And the moment they did that original content, I mean, the subscription went from 4 million to 8 million. And AIB did Honest Flights and something else like that, and it went up from 4 million to 8 million. And suddenly you're like, wow, this matters. So when I went to TVF, they said, we want you to write a show. And I said, okay. And they were like, we want you to write a show which is about a road trip. And we said, we'll write a show about a road trip, but how about we write a road trip about brothers and sisters? Instead of going out with friends, because Dil Chahta Hai did that a long time ago, something that we haven't done in a really long time is go on a road trip with our brothers and sisters. So we wrote a show called Tripling. And Tripling took their subscription from 8 million to 12 million. And I was told by the owner of TVF at that point of time, before he got caught up in sex scandals, but he came to me and said that what I want from this show is that when they finish watching this show, they call up their brother and sister. And we were shocked at the number of brothers and sisters and families that decided to go on road trips after they watched the show. And it's not they're the best brothers and sisters in the show. They hate each other. They're always getting on each other's nerves. They can't even tolerate each other for those 3 or 4 days that they're spending time together. I was going to show you trailers. You can see them on your own time so that I don't take up more time before your awards. But, I mean, if you see it, it's a very young, very edgy, people of today, but they are held together by the fact that they are related, and their final destination is that they want to go to their parents and talk to them about their problems. And they finally go in the last episode, and they're sitting over there on a dining table where someone has given them brownies with hash in it. So they're sitting over there, the whole family, intoxicated. The parents are also smoking a joint with them, which was perhaps too progressive for a lot of the crowds. But there was a thought over there that connected with the youth, which was like, kash yaar, hamare mom dad aise cool hote, unke aakar baat kar lete. And they were talking about some serious things. There was a girl, the daughter was talking about how her marriage isn't working out. The son was talking about how his wife cheated on him. And the other son is talking about his drug problem. And these were being spoken about in a really light manner, where suddenly an entire generation watched this and said, maybe we could talk to our folks about this. And I think that that's, while we are struggling here in this conference to figure out how we should reach out to them, we need to realize they are trying damn hard to reach out to us. So I think that's a good note to end it on. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.